This video is not a legal case. We can only speculate. But wow, does it smell fishy. What's in a name? That which we call a rose, by any other name, would smell as sweet? Oh, your poetry is exquisite, Juliet. But you're a melodramatic 13-year-old. Names, in fact, do matter. They matter a lot. Names have meaning. Names have power. Names have an aesthetic, a sort of vibe that they give off. We associate certain feelings and certain images with names. In many powerful literary texts, characters' names even change when they go through a substantial transformation. Abram to Abraham, Jacob to Israel, Simon to Peter, Gandalf the Grey to Gandalf the White, Smeagol to Gollum, Tom Riddle to Voldemort, Peter Parker to Spider-Man, Tony Stark to Iron Man, Anakin Skywalker to Darth Vader, Ikoria to Ichoros. Why did the name of my D&D world get changed? Let's take this back a number of steps. Back in 2017, I was at a bit of a weird place in terms of my D&D games. Kind of a funk, I don't know. I was a bit disoriented. My campaign setting at that point was Novara, but more and more I was writing short stories and working on fantasy novels set in Novara, and it was becoming, how can I say this, very difficult to make Novara fit within the restraints and the style of Dungeons and Dragons. So I was in Brazil. This was the trip where I went and met my then girlfriend, who later became my wife. And near the end of this trip, so this would have been mid-November 2017, I woke up one day and I had this strange calling to go to the mall in the city that I was in and go to the Fliperama, like a video game arcade there. And I don't know why I had this weird feeling I was going to find an old game that I played when I was a kid, and I couldn't remember the name of the game, but like it was this dream, like this dreamy, vague memory that I had of playing this game that somehow inspired me in some way. It was a crazy thing. It was like a call to adventure. And so I went to the mall, I went to the game arcade, and was looking around, and I found this one machine that was like one of those, 100 games, 200 games. It might have been a Neo Geo. And I get on the cabinet and I'm scrolling through and I see the name of this game, Crossed Swords. And for some reason that just triggered a memory in me. And so I selected Crossed Swords. And the game came up, and it was that game that I'd played a long time ago as a kid and that had echoed from time to time in dreams that I had. And as I was playing this game, something hit me. I need a new D&D world that embraces the high magic, high fantasy feeling of D&D. And all I knew was it was a world that in like the first age of the world, the gods were actually in the world and they had some kind of big war and they bled and they died. I really felt the inspiration for this. I felt like I'd turned a new leaf as a GM, and so I retired Novara from D&D because it just didn't fit so well anymore, and I created this new world. I contacted some of my gaming buddies, asked if they wanted to play in a new campaign, that I had a new idea with a fresh inspiration. They were excited about that, and starting in December of 2017, I ran my first campaign ever in my brand new world. The campaign was called City of Mazes, and in the world, Ikoria. This world that had been soaked in the blood of gods and titans during its initial age of cataclysms. Quick sidebar, Ikoria being inspired by the Greek word heralding from mythology, Ichor, the ethereal blood of the gods, essentially. A lot of people nowadays pronounce this word Ichor, and they associate it with some kind of like nasty slime thing, maybe because Ichor sounds like icky, but the original pronunciation of this word is Ichor, blood of the gods, let's call it that. This blood seeped into the world, infused the world. That's why there is magic. That's why there are monsters, heroes, great powers, supernatural things, and this endless cycle of warring between the mortal races, as they once were right there at the feet of their deity war leaders, fighting alongside them and worshiping them when they existed physically. So I had this campaign that I was running, City of Mazes. We were loving it. My new world of Ichoria got along well with D&D. It wasn't like at odds with it like Novara had been. Novara had all these house rules and was trying to do something with D&D that D&D is not really built for. So that campaign started in December of 2017, and then in early 2018, March 2018, I started a live stream campaign here on my YouTube channel called The Land of Dreams and Nightmares. It was pretty rudimentary in its first few episodes, but it got better over time. It really was a fantastic campaign. I loved that campaign. Also was set in Ichoria. And then in May of that same year, May of 2018, I also announced in my newsletter, Scrolls of the Bard, that I had this new world, that it was called Ichoria. And I started putting bits of Ichoria in my newsletter. So I'm loving Ichoria. The players are loving Ichoria. I'm putting the content out on my YouTube channel and in my newsletter. And then in September of 2019, just a couple weeks before my wedding, Wizards of the Coast announces their new Magic the Gathering plane, Ichoria. So you can probably imagine my reaction to that. It wasn't great. The name was spelled with a Ikoria instead of Ichoria. But the pronunciation is the same. So was it just a coincidence? Seems like a pretty crazy coincidence. That's an unusual and unique name, Ichoria. It's not like it's built from common words. It's not like, fire song. And it uses that old school pronunciation of I-core instead of the I-core that is common in the gaming parlance. Now, Wizards of the Coast does develop a Magic set over the course of 2 years. However, the exact naming of the cards and the characters and the planes, that usually doesn't occur until later on in the development process. Throughout a lot of the development process, they're just using placeholder names like Big Green Creature or Red Creature number 4. Names can take a long time to decide on. Names are important. They have meaning and power. And especially when it has to do with a big product, there's a whole business side to it. The marketing piece of it. They got to have the right name to set the right tone. If Wizards of the Coast began the development of Ichoria in, say, early 2018 or maybe even 2017, highly doubt they would have had the name Ichoria right then and there. The first time they publicly mentioned the name Ichoria was September 4th of 2019, and then the set itself released in April and May of 2020. But hey, could have just been a coincidence. It's like a 1 in 10,000 chance, but the possibility is there that it's just a coincidence. Stranger things have happened. Then the OGL debacle happened. That opened my eyes. It opened all of our eyes to Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro and really what's behind the scenes of things. If you somehow missed this story in 2023, it was leaked that Wizards of the Coast was going to implement a new open gaming license, 1.1, and there was an absolute uproar from the tabletop gaming community in general over some of the things that were in there. This particularly caught my attention. You agree, you as in the independent game designer like me, you agree to give us, Wizards of the Coast, a non-exclusive, perpetual, irrevocable, worldwide, sub-licensable, royalty-free license to use that content for any purpose. In other words, Wizards of the Coast was about ready to push a new open gaming license that gave them the ability, the legal right, to use the content in any third-party creator's publications. And they could even sub-license it. They could have some toy company making bobbleheads of your characters or your worlds, them profiting off of it, and they don't even have to pay you royalties. So now it's not only a coincidence of having the same unique name of the setting, but that Wizards of the Coast wanted to be able to use ideas and concepts from any independent creators possible and them to have legal immunity. They ended up retracting the OGL 1.1, as we all know, but only because it got leaked and there was an enormous backlash. They were going to implement it. So I haven't really said anything all this time because I've been trying to be apolitical, to be neutral, to just focus on creating. My campaign setting had a name change. It went through a great transformation through this trial of fire, and went from Ikoria to Ichoros. And you know what? Now it's greater than it's ever been before. Funny how that works out. Can I 100% definitively prove that Wizards of the Coast took the name of my campaign setting? No. All I can do is speculate about it and talk about how it really puts a bad taste in my mouth and the whole thing seems really fishy and shady. But by now, we know that it's something that they would do. But the fact is, big corporations, publicly traded big corporations specifically, serve the god of money, and they will do things like this. You and I, we are just numbers. They will sacrifice you as a customer if they can get 2 more of you, or if they can get 1.1 of you. So what am I going to do? Well, I'm not making a legal case out of this. I never wanted a legal case. I emailed Wizards of the Coast and asked them about this matter, and I got just kind of a stock template in response saying that if I wanted to take legal action, to contact my representative. That's not what I want. I just wanted someone at Wizards of the Coast to just shoot me straight. Just give me a straight answer. If it was just a coincidence, just tell me that. Give me some kind of evidence or proof and just say, wow, we can't believe that we both came up with the same name. But here, check out these, screenshots of emails or something, some kind of definitive proof that we actually were using that name in development behind the scenes, like way before you made any public YouTube videos or newsletters with that name. Or if they did get inspiration from me, just to give me some kind of acknowledgement. Instead, I'm nothing to them. And you are nothing to them. That sucks. So what can we do? Well, I'm on a quest. I'm on a quest to fight for the heart and soul of the mythic tradition, of role-playing games, of fantasy, of storytelling. Now, I am a business. Esper the Bard is a business. But here's my business model. Never become a publicly traded company. Never put profit as the top thing on your structure of goals and values. We all want profit. We all want to make money. We all want to be successful. Yes. But the first focus, the primary focus, is to provide something of quality and value to people. Win people's hearts, provide them something great, something valuable, then the profit will just naturally follow that. It will just be a result of having contributed something valuable to people. So I'm on this quest, and if you would like to aid me in this quest, please do so. You are warmly welcome. You are encouraged. I've got a bunch of different things going on, a bunch of irons in the fire. I've got this YouTube channel, of course. I've got my Patreon, where you can support the channel and get exclusive rewards. I've got books. I have an online shop of 5 ebooks that I've designed to be things that are in depth, that are steeped in inspiration and ideas and really cool dynamic content. I do Kickstarters from time to time where I release new books, new modules, etc. I have an online community campaign that I'm developing that's set in the world of Ichoros. It's organized through my Discord. If you're interested in being a game master for that campaign, let me know. Links for everything are down below. YouTube, Patreon plus the newsletter and the maps, books, modules on my online shop, Kickstarter projects, my online community, Myriad Legends, organized on Discord. Those are 5 really big things that take up a ton of my time. I'm dedicating myself to this. I am heeding the call to fight for the sake of our beloved RPG experience, our beloved game that really is more than just a game. So I love you guys. Thank you for everything. I'm going to keep striving and doing my very best. Anything you can do to help is very much appreciated, even if it's just a like on the video. I'll see you all again sometime very soon in videos and other offerings. And until next time, may your adventures be many.